is Puolani Spurlock, Karen Prieto, and Fatu Sissoko Stevens. And it's secured by the Wildcats. And an early tie-up, and the arrow will keep it with the team that won the jump in Villanova. At least that's where the arrow's headed, but they're going to huddle up. Determined possession. And these things, I mean, this rarely happens, but now it's UConn ball. The Huskies won against Marquette over the weekend, 71-56. Yes, they only won by 15 points, but don't panic. But that's why Quinones, with their presence, the rebounding, they're going to really look forward to that off the bench here tonight.
Sarah Strong and AZ Fudd are the only two UConn players who average double figures in scoring. Quinones is that third player. Having her back brings that scoring presence, but the rebounding piece is just so key. That's where they struggled most in that Marquette game, is not being able to get rebounds and keep Marquette to one and done.
Wildcats get the tie-up and force the turnover. Face the trademark full court pressure of Connecticut. Villanova's 6 straight wins, including over the weekend in Omaha against Creighton. Bosco to the basket and shooting free throws early on for Villanova.
That is exactly what Jasmine Bosco needs to do. Get downhill, get to the rim, and get to the foul line. Putting pressure on Connecticut at the rim is going to be massive. If you can get some of these bigger players like a Sarah Williams in foul trouble, it's going to be key for the Wildcats.
The sophomore Megan from Milton, Ontario. 1,000 points reached at Xavier a couple of games back. And we talked to Denise Dillon about her point guard, sophomore who's just a natural communicator and thus a captain on this Wildcat team.
Insane to think that an underclassman could have that impact early, but even in shoot-around, you see the impact she has vocally, putting her teammates in the right positions, especially defensively, which is so important going against this UConn team that has so many weapons on the perimeter.
And it goes to Sarah Williams, the Wisconsin transfer, and the first shot for either team is missed. Bosco look off and a launch into the first row.
Villanova and UConn met back in January, and in that game, a huge win for UConn. But the Villanova had 26 turnovers in that game. UConn was able to score 36 points off turnovers. If you're going to turn it over against UConn, fine, but don't make it a live ball turnover where they can get out and run, where they've been so dangerous all year.
Williams the dive and the finish, and the assist by Strong.
The patience of Strong to just wait a second, wait to see what the defense does, and boom, Sarah Williams is wide open. Nobody even around to breathe on her.
I know a coach from Northwestern who said when I covered him over the weekend,
oh, goodness,
if you're going to turn the ball over, just throw it into the band.
There you go.
Come on, Joe McEwen.
The band doesn't score points off turnovers.
Three-pointer for Danae Carter for Villanova.
I don't think the band can hit a three-pointer like that.
Strip and a steal for Bosco. And UConn with 2 early turnovers. Look out, Henry nearly traveled. A 5-2 Villanova start here at the Finn. Catch and shoot 3 ball. In and out that time. A good look for Kelsey Jones. Fudd off the screen. Fudd fires. Fudd, like she always does, scores some mid-range.
And patience. AZ Fudd has been so good with her decision-making this season, keeping her shoulder speared, reading the defense. That release is so quick on her shot.
Bosco quickening the pace. And tapped out last by AZ Fudd. It stays with the Wildcats.
UConn's defense makes you play faster because they have length, they're quick, they can beat you to spots. Villanova can't take quick shots, though. They've got to just take a second, let UConn blow by them, then get into their stance.
And Gina Oriema was adamant before the game as the inbounds to McCurry. She missed
another
the layup.
Quick shot.
Fight for the ball, another tie-up. That's the 3rd already, and it's going to go back to UConn. But Chino said, listen, we're not going to force 26 turnovers here tonight. He expects the Wildcats to be far more ready for the press than they were the first time out.
Villanova only averages 13 turnovers, which really is not that bad. It's actually 2nd best in the Big East.
But this team, UConn, tops in the country assist to turnover margin. Williams left it short. Good defense by Carter on the contest.
And keeping UConn to one and done is going to be key for Villanova.
Bosco in the right spot and scores against Fudd.
That was an impressive finish because Bosco got bumped and didn't have a chance to square her shoulders up, rather, at the end of the shot.
7-4 Wildcats. Fudd swarmed. Ashland Shades denied by Carter. Bosco against Arnold. Well, you said it. Quickening the pace early on is Villanova.
But transition defense by UConn's been excellent on point. They haven't had easy looks at the rim.
Fudd for three. Nails it for the Huskies.
AZ Fudd's poise has been so impressive this season. She never gets too rushed, doesn't get too high or too low. Calmly just lets the game come to her.
Dangerous pass and a turnover by McCurry on the inbounds.
When you go against UConn's press, you have to come to the ball hard. Hard cuts give you opportunities. AZ Fudd is so smooth, you cannot take a step back off of her. She is a more than 40% shooter from three. Her stats have been nearly perfect all season long. Every time I check them every week, it's like almost 50% or at 50% from the field. There you go, right there. 67% from three. Over the last two wins, her efficiency is off the charts.
Back-to-back Big East Players of the Week for Fudd. Slips it inside off the fingertips of Quinones and out of bounds. But if you're UConn, again, it's great to see number 4 back on the court.
It's going to take a minute for everybody to get used to having Quinones out there again. But I tell you what, she's such a special player. Even though she's a freshman, the decision-making of Quinones makes her really unique.
Ryan Allen in for Villanova, number 5. Great three-point shooter in her own right. Henry to the basket, and the freshman who's been terrific defensively will shoot 2 for Villanova.
Villanova's making really good decisions on offense when they can get skip passes and forces UConn's defense to get into rotation. They can catch them on the offside, and then the help comes late. Quinones bodies up. Great job getting to the basket by Henry.
6-foot freshman, Megan, and Henry on the season 69% at the line. When you see her in person, you think, okay, she does look like a freshman, but the length and the defensive ability on great players in the Big East, it's been really impressive.
Denise Dillon says that Doug Bruno calls that visual athleticism, where you just look like you're going to go get a block, you're going to get a board, you look like you're athletic, and that's the ultimate compliment.
Sarah Strong nails the 3 for UConn.
UConn's threes have been way too open. They've come from either miscommunications from Villanova or somebody's just fallen asleep on defense.
A little pearl there of wisdom from Doug Bruno. Off the steal, Quinones for 2. Up. I think they're going to wave it off.
Nobody is even in the vicinity of Sarah Strong. Defensive miscommunication by Villanova. Strong makes you pay. This UConn offense is so well oiled. They're used to playing with each other, but the spacing is so good. Everybody understands where everybody is on the floor at all times. Fantastic awareness.
They called the travel on Quinones. Bosco too much with the dribble against Fudd. And Villanova, Megan, with their 6th turnover already. Into the lane, Arnold, and you heard the slap on the wrist from Danae Carter. Picks it up for Villanova. That's her first, and only the first on the Wildcats here in the first quarter.
KK Arnold has one speed, and that's fast. According to Gino Auriemma, of course, doing a good job getting downhill. That hesitation brought the defense out of its stance. Then, boom, she's all the way at the other end.
The junior from Germantown, Wisconsin, and the mask is off. Wore that for quite a period of time. And Gino was speaking to him before the game. He said, looking ahead, when we get into the conference tournament, but really in between Mohegan and the big dance, Blanca's back, Quinones. Sarah Strong is practicing and playing. She missed a game. They're healthy. Arnold's mask is off, and now it's a matter of, can we play together without any other restrictions?
Well, in that week between the Big East tournament and the NCAA tournament, everybody's going to be forced to go into the ice bath, making sure that they're getting the recovery boots. That is going to be a week of everybody just trying to get ready to make a run, a deep run in the NCAA tournament. But you got to live in the training room during that time.
Oh, yeah. Midway point first quarter. Here's Henry, the freshman. Kicks it out to Carter. Sinks the three.
Spacing and pacing by Villanova on offense. You can get skip passes. You give your shooters enough time because the defense has to come over and get a high hand to contest.
The Cats by a point. And steps on Quinones on the closeout by Allen. And a timeout on the floor.
Looks a little out of rhythm. First game back in 6 games, but right now Villanova doing a great job spacing the floor, getting shots done. Already, we got a good matchup here in Philly.
Sunday night basketball is on NBC and Peacock every week at prime time. And this week, Celtics and Lakers out west. Sunday on NBC and Peacock. All-Star weekend across town at Intuit Dome. And VJ Edgecombe, he loves to get to college games. The Sixers play tomorrow against Atlanta. Went to Long Island Lutheran, and there he is catching the game here tonight.
Well, you know, it's funny, too. UConn, Kaylee Heckel also went to Long Island Lutheran. So there you go, 2 Lehigh alums in the building. But always good to see NBA players come out and support women's basketball. It's one of the most exciting products out there right now, and the star just continues to rise. And it's not just one team in particular, it's across the board. When you look at out of UCLA, Lauren Betts and what this team's been able to do, UConn obviously, AZ Fudd, Sarah Strong, any conference, South Carolina, you have so many stars right now that are being talked about.
How about Tanae Carter, by the way, Megan? She's made 2 3-pointers. Entering the game, she was 2 of 7 from 3 on the season. That's big when you're facing UConn. You need those buckets to go down early.
They've been in rhythm shots because Villanova's spacing has been really good. When they don't get rushed, they're getting good in rhythm opportunities.
Strip by Strong, steal for Connecticut. That's their 5th steal already. But a turnover to Carter. Has Allen. Carter to the basket for 2.
Carter has been the X factor in this first quarter for Villanova. She's playing fearlessly right now, but most importantly, she's making plays on defense, using her length to be disruptive.
3-point lead for Villanova. Fudd off the dribble, sinks it for 2.
I just love watching AZ Fudd in the mid-range, kicking it off the dribble. She reads the defense so quickly now, and she's making those decisions at such a high level.
Fudd with 7. She's 3 of 3 with a 3-pointer. She has eclipsed 1,500 now for her career. Needed 6 coming in. Deep 3. Allen short, rebound to Strong. So Strong, Fudd, Heckel in for UConn. Quinones and Zabel, and a good contest that time on the Strong drive. But that's not what you want from Allen and the Wildcats.
Villanova just needs to slow down. When they've turned it over, they're playing way too fast. Meeting passes is huge, and throwing crisp passes is also massive. Everybody has to be aware of where the ball is at all times.
Denise Dillon took this program to the Sweet 16 in 2023. Doesn't seem like she has a bad day in her life. Just a great attitude, positivity. Pleasure to talk to before the game.
I always love talking to Coach Dillon. She's so insightful about her team, about basketball, and about the Big East, really, and wanting to uplift this conference. When you take a look at the landscape, a lot of people are only projecting 2 Big East teams to make it into the NCAA tournament. But there's still a lot of season left to be played over the next couple of weeks. You never know what a Seton Hall or a Marquette could do to kind of go on a run to finish out the season strong. But at the moment, UConn and Villanova are your 2 teams projected to make the big dance.
And for the Wildcats, the game tonight, then against Marquette and at Seton Hall to close the season. How about Strong the length to steal to the rim, denied by Carter.
You're saying her name every single time we have a possession here, Ed.
Why not? Tanae Carter, the Philadelphia native, Basel Academy. Couple of threes, couple of blocks, and 8 points already. Bosco goes baseline against Heckel. Left it short, good defense by the USC transfer.
Heckel is doing a really good job defensively of forcing players into angles.
Into traffic and knocked off of, I believe, Heckel on the ground.
Watch this positioning, getting back, and that's a clean block right there by Tanae Carter. Fearless. And boom, another 2 people looks like got a hand on that one. That might be like a half sack, you know what I'm saying?
I like it. Cesaretti, I think, headed that ball onto Heckel for the out-of-bounds call. A little footy in addition to football. Bosco launches, knocks it down for Villanova.
You know the shot's going in when the player starts running down the floor before the ball even goes into the basket.
3 of 5 from 3 of the Wildcats. Sarah Strong, one-legged, scores for UConn.
It's Dirk Nowitzki-esque, the way she's able to go into the paint, keep her shoulder squared off one leg, fade away. It also reminds me of Brianna Stewart.
Now that's a comp. Final 140 of this first quarter. Cesaretti poked away by Heckel. Quinones streaks in, missed it. Yeah, bodies tumble, a foul, no, but jump is called. The arrow says it goes back to Villanova.
Villanova's doing a really good job dictating pace of play in this game. They're not getting too sped up. Only a couple of times if they've had turnovers, they've been dead ball turnovers. Then they're reading the defense. If somebody's back down, they're stepping up and knocking down shots confidently. Sarah Strong, I could watch film on her all day. She is one of the most beautiful basketball players in terms of her form and ability around the basket.
You, every fan, every WNBA league office.
That's not like a hot take by any means.
But it's so true. Sophomore, preseason player of the year, body spill through the 5-hole of Heckel. Fudd from Strong, skip it out. Shade working baseline, and Ashlyn Shade motors in for 2.
Ashlyn Shade doesn't get talked about enough with everything she does for UConn. She dives on the floor for loose balls. She takes charges. She just gets into the right positioning defensively and makes easy shots whenever she's called upon. Those little things don't show up in the stat sheet, but they're a huge reason why UConn has had so much success.
Timeout, Denise Dillon and Villanova. We've got a tie game at 17 on the main line. Villanova's led for nearly 7 minutes so far tonight. And right now we're tied at 17, the third tie of the first quarter. Ed Cohen, Megan McEwen, our entire Peacock crew, led by Matt Greenfield and John Coleman tonight. On this Ash Wednesday. All right, final minute here for Villanova, Megan. And the Wildcats, the timeout to kind of slow things down here. Bosco hits the three-pointer.
Great timeout by Denise Dillon to get her team calmed down, get a good in-rhythm open shot from Bosco. That's how you want to take it into a second quarter.
Over the top. And they're denying just about everything to Strong on the break. I mean, shots have gone in for UConn, but it hasn't been without resistance.
Look at how much space Bosco has right now to knock down the three. Sarah Strong's got to get a high hand out there and contest on 11 and white.
Another Connecticut turnover. Trouble getting it in, and right on cue, it's thrown to the head coach, which you don't want.
No.
So UConn with 8 giveaways, and Villanova already with 12 turnovers and still a 3-point lead.
They haven't been live ball turnovers as much.
Yep.
Last time these two played, UConn was able to score 36 points off turnovers.
Entry to Strong, good finish there against McCurry.
She's just a cheat code. Get the ball into Strong, it's an automatic bucket.
I love that. Remember when you unlocked Bill Clinton in NBA Jam? That was a cheat code.
I wish I knew how to play NBA Jam. I didn't have video games growing up except for Mario Kart.
I've dated myself. 6 seconds. Back cut. Beautiful pass. Missed layup. But it's cleaned up by Henry. And at the buzzer, Villanova takes a 3-point lead at the end of the first quarter.
The offensive pace for Villanova right now has been excellent. It's why they have the lead. They're not getting too sped up. When they space the floor, stay patient, and make crisp passes, good things are happening.
UConn has never trailed at the end of the first quarter this season. Nova by 3 after 1. Tomorrow on Primetime in Milan, Jordan Stolz skates for gold number 3. Alyssa Liu carries American hopes in the free skate. And Team USA takes on Canada in the gold medal game for women's hockey. Tomorrow on NBC and Peacock. How about that score? Villanova 22, UConn 19. January 15th, it was 26-8 UConn after one quarter. So Megan McEwen, what's changed after 10 here tonight?
Villanova's poise has been excellent, especially offensively. They're not getting too sped up. They've had some times where they've had costly turnovers, but it hasn't necessarily hurt them that much. And defensively, they've used their length and they've been able to score quickly.
Danae Carter spins and scores. She's been amazing so far for Nova.
Carter's listed at 6 feet. Her wingspan, I would love to know how big it is, because right now she's gotten into every passing lane, been disruptive, and she's been a shot alterer.
Another steal. Bosco. Look out. Here's the trailer. And UConn will take over, but Danae Carter with 10 points. She's 4 of 4. 3 blocks and 3 steals.
Watch the arm, like Inspector Gadget, go Gadget arm. Carter gets up there, steals it, gets back down. She's got that size advantage over Heckle, scoring quickly, staying poised, but not playing too fast.
I got the Inspector Gadget music stuck in my head. 24-19 Villanova. They deny the give to Fudd. Strong looking. KK Arnold bumped and missed high off the glass, but Arnold will shoot 2 for the Huskies.
Exactly what UConn needed. When you're not in an offensive rhythm, it's important to get to the line, get fouled, stop the clock, and put points on the board. It allows everyone to take a collective breath, and you can kind of get things together. Good stop and go by Arnold, going through multiple bodies to absorb the contact.
UConn 2 for 3 so far at the line. We mentioned last time we had the game at Creighton a week ago. That was an emphasis from Gino Auriemma. Wants to see more of that before they get into the conference tournament and deeper into March. The rebounding, 11-5 Villanova in the early going.
This is what happened against Marquette when that was a really tight game. UConn could not win that rebounding battle.
And Carter bumps Strong to the deck and picks up Villanova's second. And for Carter, that's her second as well. Against Marquette, offensive rebounding in particular was a heavy lift for Connecticut. 8 compared to 14 for the Golden Eagles. And they want to see that begin to shift, even though they shoot it so well from the field. Quinones swarmed, rotated to the corner. Fudd drives the closeout. And there's Strong, offensive rebound and a chance now at the line.
Sarah Strong needs to take over in this game, and that's what it feels like is about to happen. But right now, Villanova is doing a great job rotating on defense. They're getting to shooters the moment that they're catching the ball, moving on the flight of the ball, communicating. It's been massive.
Let's take a look at the upcoming basketball schedule on Peacock. Nova and Marquette coming up on Sunday. And how about that game on February 25th in Hartford between St. John's and UConn, as if that first game at the Garden wasn't enough. Patino, Hurley, Huskies, Red Storm, Part 2.
Sounds like a great drama, like it should be on Bravo after The Real Housewives.
Wow. I was thinking,
and that's a
Law and Order
compliment, by the way.
SVU.
I love The Real Housewives.
I was thinking Lieutenant Captain Benson.
Have you watched Bravo lately? That's on Peacock.
I walk upstairs. It's on in the bedroom. I go downstairs.
You got to open your horizons a little more.
All right. We got this one. 8:31 to go in the second. 24-21 Wildcats. Led by 3 after 1. Fudd misses off the rim twice, and it's tipped out to Danny Cesaretti. So the bench getting a look for Villanova, and the three's rejected. Maybe the pass, whatever it was, by Strong. Tees up a 3. Way off the mark.
These are not in rhythm shots for UConn right now.
That was their first missed 3, but still, everything's been tough. Bosco for 2. Weak side, ripped down by Strong. Here comes Arnold. KK Arnold steps, can't finish. And they're back to Wildcats for every rebound in transition.
Keeping UConn to one and done is going to be key for Villanova. You see right there, KK Arnold's one of the best on-ball defenders in the country because she's so pesky. She moves her feet, but right there, bodying up just a little too much. Are you kidding me?
Wow. Sarah Strong with 8 points already, 6 rebounds, couple of blocks, and now another steal. Leads the break, finds Fudd. Hazy Fudd. Julia Alalfi with the rebound, and she's fouled coming down by Ryan Allen for Villanova. And that's the 5th on the Wildcats this quarter with only 7:21 to go. And the Huskies are in the bonus the remainder of this first half.
UConn has not been in this position often. They have never trailed in a first quarter this season. It's important to get these opportunities of when you're facing adversity over the course of the game, you get down, how do you respond? It's important to go back to what UConn has been so good at this season, scoring and points off turnovers and trying to get opportunities at the line. It's an area they need to grow, and this is a great opportunity to work on finishing plays, getting offensive rebounds, and getting to the line.
Alfie hits the first. She's normally at 52% at the line, so the percentage not there, but hopefully for UConn, the volume increases. Sophomore from Cairo, Egypt. Her father coaches the Egyptian women's national team. And 2 for 2 that time. We got a 1-point game. Scoring this quarter, 3-2. Make it 4-2 for the Huskies. Turnovers and some missed shots to begin this frame. Henry, the step, the runner, gets it to go.
Henry is playing fearless off the dribble. She's going right into 2 bigs on UConn and just focusing on the finish, keeping those shoulders squared. That release is really high on the finish.
Megan Shea 6. Arnold takes Bosco off the dribble. Ashlyn Shea, the spin. Rolls off and cleared by Cesaretti. Here comes the trap. Ball deflected to Bosco. 15 Villanova turnovers, and they're still up by 3. Bosco spins, difficult shot. Alalfi with the cleanup.
Sarah Strong once again altering a shot, staying aggressive.
Strong off the screen, too strong. And ripped down by the freshman who's fouled by Alalfi. That's number 2 on UConn, the first on the center for Connecticut.
UConn's looking deflated when they have a missed shot. Instead of trying to aggressively finish the play, they're kind of shrugging their shoulders. They got to try to focus on keeping Villanova to one and done, cutting down angles, because right now multiple guards on Villanova are getting into the paint and scoring right at the rim.
15 Villanova turnovers, but that's led to only 10 UConn points. It sounds crazy, but you'll take it any day. Bosco one-legged, that won't go. Back tap and right to Shade. Here comes KK Arnold, cross-court Shade. Fakes, fires, scores for UConn.
Great in-rhythm shot by Shade. That was a pump fake, one dribble pull-up that you practice every single day in individuals. In-rhythm shots that you've taken at game speed over the course of practice are going to be key for UConn to get right now.
Megan, first field goal made by the Huskies this quarter. Bosco into the corner, Cesaretti gets the bounce for Villanova on the 3-ball.
We call that the friendly home bounce, but the paint touch forces the defense to collapse and allows the open 3.
Near the midway point of the second. Strong fronted. Good defense by Allen. Held up on the blind side. Arrow says Villanova ball.
Kylie Watson
Henry
doing a really good job of coming in at 6'4", bodying up against Alalfi. And just trying to make things difficult, especially at that Big East logo. UConn has not been able to find very many opportunities in the paint to break the defense apart. They've kind of settled for some contested shots. Their best opportunities have come in transition.
And Connecticut won for its last 8. And they have 11 turnovers so far. Ryan Allen for Jasmine Bosco. Fires a deep one. Long bounce. There's Quinones picking it up on the run. She's taken one shot, dishing to Shade. And a lot of bodies flying for the rebound, and it's over the back. And it's Alfie with her second for UConn.
You gotta love it. Paint touch leads to the open three-point opportunity. Villanova feeling real good right now here in Philly.
Big East basketball is brought to you by Discover. With Discover It, fans can earn cash back on their game day purchases. And by Jeep, there's only one. Always fun at the Finner and Pavilion. They've done so much work in this building to make it a wonderful Big East college basketball atmosphere with an ode to the great history of this program.
It gets loud in here. Villanova basketball has been a perennial power in women's basketball for a long time. You look back to Harry Perretta and what he was able to build here. I think about when they were 2 seeds in the NCAA tournament with Trish Juline and all sorts of fantastic players. And one thing that Villanova's always been known for is their motion style offense. It's very difficult to defend because it's read and react, it's random, and it's hard as a defense to predict where players are going to go.
Yeah, looking at Gino Auriemma at shoot around, he said, man, I mean, this is really tough to prepare for. Always tough coming down here as Henry misses the three. And I said, what's different from Harry? He said, nothing. It's all the same. Nothing's changed. Hunter Denise Dillon, who played for him. How about Fudd? The scoop on the move without glass. Chance at three.
AZ Fudd needs to take over in this game, especially in a period like this, where she's the most experienced player on the floor. She's got all the skill sets in the world, but most importantly, she's got the poise. And this is where that leadership piece has to come from her, because there's going to be a lot of instances over the next month and a half where UConn's going to have their back against the wall. Multiple people have to step up and be ready to answer that challenge.
Strong in, Quinones out, and Fudd. What a season it's been. 46% from the three. What excites you about her skills and how they potentially lend themselves to the WNBA?
AZ Fudd's ability to create her own shot makes her a pro. She's really poised and smooth right now, but staying so balanced. Every shot she takes is in rhythm. It's balanced. Her shoulders are squared. You can't get her off her line, which is really impressive. The strength she's been able to build in the weight room.
Gino Auriemma alluded to the release. Like, it is so quick.
Quick and pure. You think about like Diana Taurasi, some of the great shooters in the WNBA. How quick it is, how pure it is.
Under 4 left in the second. A 1-point lead for Villanova. They've led for over 13 minutes of this first half, but they don't need any more as Shade sinks the three.
This is what UConn needs to do. Get good offensive possessions and get your juice on defense. They've been able to keep Villanova scoreless the last couple of possessions and keep them to 1 and done.
Jasmine Bosco was 3 of 6 to start. She's 0 of 5 since. Here's the motion, opens up a look for McCurry. Nails the three-pointer.
Great ball movement. The spacing has been elite for Villanova.
Shade, no. Tip to Alfie. Fudd gets a look. Way offline, missed the rim.
Henry just running in front of Fudd altered that shot and made her speed up just a little bit. Justin had that elbow tucked.
That was right in our line. Let's go back to McCurry.
Just beautiful spacing to make that pass. It forced the defender underneath the basket to come out.
Another good look this time. Back of the rim for Kelsey Jones, who's been quiet so far.
Villanova's getting in rhythm shots.
Megan, they've made 6 threes so far tonight. Shade fires, hits it, going to her left.
Ashlyn Shade in the mid-range is impressive because she elevates so high off the ground. Even though her release point doesn't necessarily go super high, her ability to jump, it's impressive.
Bosco and a swarm of Navy jerseys will shoot 2 for Villanova. And Bosco 2 for 2 at the line so far this evening.
UConn's defense speeds people up, but right now Villanova hasn't gotten too sped up over the course of this game.
Yep.
They're still dictating pace, they're getting downhill, but they're getting to the line, which has been huge to keep this game manageable manageable. Let's try that one again in terms of pace.
Say that as fast as this pace for Villanova.
There you go.
Coming up on the Cheap Halftime Report, we'll check in with Trenny Casey for an Olympic update, and Megan will break down the first half. So stay with us. The Cheap Halftime Report coming up at the break. And Bosco unable to connect on both free throws. But great hands by Cesaretti. The steals, 7 for Villanova now, but UConn with 10. And they're Strong with another swipe. Heckel denied, Euroed, and was met by Watson.
Watson's given some good minutes in this game, using her size and length.
The freshman, Kennedy Henry, guarded by Fudd. Skip it out for a 3-ball. That's good. And it's Bosco with the answer.
Another Villanova 3 off a skip pass, because the person guarding the person about to get the shot has to be on the help side line, so they're a step out of position. Those passes are quick, and these shots are in rhythm.
Final 80 seconds. Strong inside El Alfie. And she's held up and already in the penalties, Villanova. So 2 shots for Shanna El Alfie for UConn.
Skip passes, so good for shooters, and that was right into the shooting pocket, perfectly placed. So Bosco didn't have to move around at all. It allows you to get a quicker shot off when you get a great pass.
Minute 15 left in the second. Villanova led by 3 after 1. They are turning the ball over a ton with 17, but they've had a response, and there's been so much defensive activity from the Wildcats to disrupt UConn so far tonight.
Villanova has not allowed UConn to get into an offensive rhythm, and they also haven't allowed UConn to go on a run. UConn can turn you over and score so quickly and hit threes quickly as well, but they haven't been able to piece together enough possessions like that to where it's been detrimental for Villanova.
Bosco with a seam. Bosco with a banker.
She took off from like the hash mark.
Like Saquon.
There we go. You know what city you're in.
Yeah, you got to be careful coming from New York to this town. Fudd denied. What a swat by Watson. 2 for 1. Chance for Villanova. Bosco to the rim, where she found her tied up. She's going to shoot free throws with 36.3 on the clock, so it is a 2 for 1. Bosco shoots 2 at the line.
Kylie Watson's defense has been so good in this second quarter. She's making every right play, using that length and physicality. Bosco just takes off from like out here in Delco, essentially, if you want to call the Brim Villanova University.
Now, you're the son of a father judge.
The
star.
son?
The daughter.
Yeah.
Jeez. I got 2 sons.
Man. I didn't think my hair looked that bad.
It's been a long week, Megan.
But to that point, Father Judge, Philly Catholic League is no joke here, by the way. You ask anybody in this building, the mecca of college basketball is the Palestra.
Yep. Your grandfather, he roamed those halls, didn't he?
They sure did.
Fudd nails
Wow.
the 3 for Connecticut.
In rhythm, coming off square. She's got one of the quickest releases in college basketball, in all of basketball.
13 for AC Fudd, but Villanova with the final shot here in the second. Bosco, 4 seconds, weaves. 1 second, is fouled by Arnold with 0.5 on the clock. Yeah, Gino Oriema saying a foul, let alone maybe a travel. And Jamel Elliott saying, not this time, Gino, let's cool down.
Right there, just from behind. And who do they call this on? Sarah Strong got her from behind.
That's her second.
Because KK Arnold was in the position.
Villanova by 3 after 1. Villanova by 3 at the break against #1 and undefeated Connecticut.
Villanova's defense has been the difference maker, not allowing UConn to kill them on the glass, and they've also been able to handle some of the pressure in the press.
First time trailing at the break for Connecticut all season long. Cats by 3, 40-37. After these messages, stay with us for the Jeep halftime report. A freshman point guard and a great defender in Kennedy Henry, who's just a freshman, leading the way this year for the Wildcats. Third quarter's underway. You have Strong, Williams, Shade, Fudd, and Arnold for UConn. AZ Fudd ties the game off the bat with the 3.
Beautiful execution by UConn to start the game, having Fudd come off the screen on the baseline in rhythm, shoulder square, and she set up her defender perfectly to rub shoulders.
Yeah, was it deflected? UConn saying it was, but the Wildcats will keep it.
AZ Fudd does not need much room to get that shot off, but she sets up her defender so well.
Henry, McCurry, Bosco, Jones, and Carter for Villanova. Wildcats 6 straight wins coming in, 21 victories. The fifth 20-win season under Denise Dillon in her 6 years.
Great defense by Arnold.
8 to shoot. Bosco avoids a turnover. 3 to shoot. Swarmed the runner. And Strong cleans it up.
Boy, was that ball pressure better by UConn.
Fudd, bounce pass, a good one to Arnold for the basket.
This is the pace that UConn wants to play at, keeping teams to one and done, then quickly coming down and scoring at high percentage areas.
AZ Fudd with that assist, her second, and a near steal. Yeah, it's going back to Connecticut.
Fudd coming down, assessing. It's what you do in practice every single day in transition. 2-on-3 drills, 2-on-1 drills. You got to be able to draw multiple defenders and boom, hit your teammate in stride.
Fudd going to her left it short. Williams peels off, saves it. Reset for Connecticut. And knocked out last by Villanova with 15 to shoot. So the Wildcats led by as many as 5, and that was late in the second quarter at 39-34. But since then, a good response from UConn, 8-1. Dump down on the back cut, Sarah Strong.
UConn is getting shots they want because they're being more deliberate with the ball. Their cuts are harder, and they're posting up on the inside.
A 7-0 start, Megan, to this third quarter for Connecticut.
Wow.
Denial by Williams against Carter. Fudd against the freshman. Intercept for Bosco. McCurry runs the floor, spins middle, and finishes.
Impressive by Villanova, even though UConn's on this run, to not just fall down. You got to keep fighting here. It's going to be important defensively this possession for Villanova to keep UConn to one and done.
Tough shot. Shade the rebound and the soft touch.
UConn looks much more deliberate with their offense right now. They're not out there just kind of playing. They look like they are playing with a purpose now.
46-42 Connecticut. Bosco lost it. Trickling, and we'll get a tie-up, and the arrow keeps it with the Wildcats with 17 on the 30. And for Denise Dillon, a couple of changes coming up.
That's quite the finish there by McCurry. And then coming over, Shade, you got to box out. The moment that UConn misses a shot, you got to put a body on somebody, back out and create space.
Megan McCurry's a great story. Junior, didn't play last year due to a right knee injury. Inbounds to Henry, lost it going up, and corralled by Shade, but McCurry also tore her left knee in high school as a senior in Sparta, New Jersey. But they had committed to her, so she recovered by her freshman year. Williams inside will have a chance at 3 for UConn.
Sarah Williams has made multiple big plays in this second half so far. Defensively, she had a block, got a rebound, and now she's down there scoring right at the rim, absorbing that contact, And that's all she needs to do. Stay within yourself. Don't go out of bounds. Williams, nice finish.
Little Brooklyn toughness from the Wisconsin transfer. Denise Dillon, her team up by 3 at the break, outscored by 9 to start the third. From the producers of 30 Rock, Tracy Morgan and Daniel Radcliffe team up in the new comedy, The Fall and Rise of Reggie Dinkins. 1-hour premiere event Monday on NBC and Peacock. Here in Philadelphia, where the Big Five in the Catholic League is king, and at one point that guy was to Phil Martelli, legend as the coach at St. Joe's, and if you go further back in his coaching career, was at Bishop Kenrick High School in 1979 when he hired a young assistant from Norristown, Pennsylvania, named Gino Auriemma.
The Philly connections run rampant in basketball. People don't understand the legends and the roots that are in this city. And Phil Martelli, one of the all-time greats. To think St. Joe's had Phil Martelli at one point, Jim Foster. Are you kidding me? It was hopping
the
over
coaching
there.
Cradle. Special place, Hawk Hill.
You gotta love the Big Five, too. There's just so much history in this city, and it makes it really special.
And Phil's wife, Judy, was a legend in her own right, part of the Immaculata teams in the 1970s, coached by Kathy Rush. And on the men's side of basketball, you think of the five-star camps and Howard Garfinkel and the Poconos. 4 to shoot right now for Villanova. Carter drives the closeout and banks it in. But on the girls and women's side, in a corridor of the country where basketball on the women's side was everything in the 70s and 80s, Kathy Rush's camps really set the stage for players and coaches to begin that leap in their careers.
It's just a special place. I grew up going to camps in the Poconos.
Wow.
Because of the Philly connection. So definitely a city that loves its basketball and appreciates women's basketball.
Gino, Dawn Staley.
Really nice play. Carter's been so solid in this game. And she stopped right before Strong was able to get into a position to go up and block the shot. Smart heads-up play by 25 in the white.
Made her first 4 shots. Right now she's 5 for 6 with 12 points. That was her 3rd foul, so we'll keep an eye on it. KK Arnold against Bosco. Fudd off the screen. Offensive on Sarah Strong. That's her 3rd.
AZ Fudd is so good at running her defender off of screens because she changes speeds. And right there, right in front of the official, Strong didn't look set.
Yeah, Gino's still fighting to say you can't call that. We practiced that. It's in her game. And on the deck is Strong, and she undercuts Allen. That's her 4th now with under 6 to go in the 3rd. And that's the danger of that first foul that you don't love, and then the next one seconds later.
And these are such tough calls because it's a loose ball call, but I mean, she gets to the ground first. Look, Blanca Quinones now being back for UConn is huge in a situation like this, but she hasn't gotten into a rhythm just yet. She's missed the last 6 games. UConn needs her to step up defensively.
Here's Henry against Fudd, and help, and she's shooting. Nope, she stepped. Traveling on Henry. But to your point, and Gino, when we spoke to him before the game, he said the Marquette game, even though we won, it was the one where it finally hit us. We really missed Blanca Quinones, and now they've got her at a very critical time.
And they need Quinones to get good looks in the paint, but also defensively be that presence, be a shot blocker, and be a rebounder.
Yeah. AZ Fudd on a switch against Allen. Finds Quinones. Gets underneath and finishes.
Quinones can score anywhere on the floor. She's smooth. She's great at reading the defense. Has so much finesse underneath the rim.
From Ecuador, the freshman with 4 now. A 7-point UConn lead is their largest.
Oh, backdoor cut. Hello.
And the Wildcats with the answer.
If the defender is overplaying, take 1 step to your right, then boom, back cut.
KK Arnold, no. Bosco finds Henry. The sophomore is fouled. Yeah, free throws coming up for Jasmine Bosco.
Blanca Quinones, big bucket down low by the freshman. Boy, did UConn miss her, but Villanova refuses to go away easy.
Sunday, February 26th, when they take on Wildcat for Senior Day.
UConn by 5 against Villanova here in the third quarter. Let's go inside the huddle with Villanova's Denise Dillon.
Continue to chase off, same thing, sprint ahead. You have 4 gets it there. Danny, you're here on her hip. Sprint ahead to beat her to the spot. Where is she going, all right? Okay? You stay, you're on her hip. Now she has space to go right up and over, all right? Sprint, drop your hips and go. So you drop your hips. That's what I'm telling Ken here on offense also. Okay, it's got to be low, so now we have bounce and we have power behind each shot, right? Defensively, keeping them in front, but you can't when you're standing upright. You got to be low, but your leg has to be the one that's contested, right? Okay, down this end.
I love when coaches teach in-game because staying low is so important, especially against a team like UConn, because when you're low, you're in a better position to move quickly. Defensively, if Villanova can keep UConn to one and done and get out and run and play quick, that's where they're having success, either scoring the ball or getting to the foul line. UConn had 12 fouls all game last game against Villanova. Tonight, they already have 12 fouls. We're not even halfway, we're just a little over halfway now through the third quarter.
Different game completely in this one tonight. 14-7 UConn this quarter. A 4-point lead right now.
Great pass.
Almost a clean denial, but instead free throws for Sarah Williams. And underneath for Villanova, it goes against Kennedy Henry, the freshman.
Blanca Quinones and Sarah Strong have similar tendencies in terms of their playmaking and passing. To make a pass from the top of the key to where only Sarah Williams could catch it and put her in a position to score is massive.
And Strong on the bench for UConn with the 4 fouls. Picked it up with over 6 minutes to go in the third. So Williams converts on the second. And there you're missing the Big East preseason player of the year, UConn's leader in points, rebounds, steals, and blocks, on the bench in foul trouble. Bosco, by the way, her 12th 20-point game this season as Allen turns it over. Hazy Fudd, the lob deflects off Quinones, and you know, you can't forget she hasn't played since January 24th. They're working on getting that rhythm back.
And she's had some moments of, you see there's some rust to her game, but she's also had moments where you're like, okay, you're one of the best players on the floor, but you got to give her a couple of minutes to really get back into a rhythm. A couple of games really after missing that much time.
Shoulder injury for the freshman. They deny Bosco. Now she's got it. The sophomore point guard, part of the Canadian national team, 18 points per game, second in the league. 8 to shoot. Bosco again. Against Quinones. Toys with her. Steps. Fires. Tapped out to Fudd.
It's a good job by Quinones, staying down in his stance.
Funneled Zabel. Rims out just barely. And a tie-up. How many of those have we said tonight?
You're like a broken record with it right now.
UConn ball. Bryn McCurry, the junior, Sparta, New Jersey. 5 points. She's only taken a 3. Normally shoots it at 41% from beyond the arc. And they've held her in check. Quinones steps through a double team to score.
That's impossible to defend. Quinones, with her size at 6'2", her ability to start and stop, it gets the defense out of its stance, and she exploits you every time.
3 and change
wide
left in the
open.
third. Oh, Cesaretti bobbled it. And UConn swipes it.
UConn's got to keep their head on a swivel right now because these back cuts have been open for Villanova.
Underneath, bodies on the deck. Bosco, along with Williams, and it's on Jasmine Bosco.
I've been wildly impressed with the physicality that Villanova is playing with. UConn plays physical down low with players like Quinones, Sarah Strong, Sarah Williams, but Villanova has matched that physicality. In fact, they've asserted themselves in the physicality category throughout the entire course of this game.
3:01 to go in the third. UConn a +10 this quarter. Shade leans in and is fouled, and Ashlyn Shade will get a pair. But without question, these final 2:59, big for both sides, but certainly bigger for Villanova.
Villanova has to make sure they continue to take care of the ball, because right now 26 turnovers, it's not allowing them to find an offensive flow. And then defensively, UConn's got to make sure that they continue to be disruptive, but they can't allow second chance opportunities. They got to watch getting back cut.
Shade last year, the 6th Woman of the Year in the Big East, the starter this season. Out goes Carter, and in comes Brooke Bender, the freshman. Now Carter with 4 fouls now, and that's worth watching because she was so vital to Villanova in the first half. I mean, if you're Denise Dillon, Bosco averages 31 minutes. I don't know how you take her out. Cesaretti is forced into steps on the closeout.
You got to shoot that, can't hesitate. You're not getting very many open three-point shots against UConn. If you are wide open, you got to take that with confidence.
Arnold, Quinones, Shade, Zabel, and Williams for UConn.
You got to get Williams the ball.
She wanted it. Zabel flicks to Shade. Williams gobbles it up. Can't hit. Bosco to the basket for 2.
Her change of speed is so impressive. Defense comes up out of a stance, and boom, she's all the way at the rim. She's got some deceptive quickness.
23 for Jasmine Bosco. She's 7 of 17. Last game against Creighton scored 21, but on 23 shots, so more efficient tonight. And a foul here on Villanova. They're in the penalty, and UConn gets 2 shots in the bonus.
Watch Bosco here, a little hesitation. She goes to potentially take handoff or screen, rejects it, gets Arnold completely off guard, and she's at the rim. And there's no help side rotating over for UConn. Straight line drive from the top of the key, that can't happen. Communication and the help side's got to be there. This game is getting called tighter now in this third quarter. So both teams need to be aware of, okay, now you understand, well, you may have been able to get away with in the first. Now in this second half, you got to be a little smarter, making sure you're in the right position.
In comes El Alfie, out goes Sarah Williams. Strong with the 4 fouls on the bench for Connecticut. Carter with the 4 for Villanova, and sideline for now as well. MD and Tambu from Montreal, Quebec. The freshman backup point guard, seeing time late in the quarter. Bender knocks down the 3.
Beautiful flare screen, just gets her feet set under her. I loved how Villanova's been able to get open off screens because they're setting up their defender going shoulder to shoulder.
Oh, Quinones turned it over. Look out, Bosco. Battle for the rebound, one-armed by Zabel. Final 1 away to the third here on the main line. A 6-point lead for UConn. Largest lead, 9 for the Huskies, was 5 for Villanova. Arnold streaks in and fouled by Tambu, and 2 shots for KK Arnold.
Lost a shoe in the process. More opportunities at the rim for UConn is what they need to do in this game. And Coach Auriemma has talked about the importance of making sure they get to the line more. Watch that flare, beautifully done. Fantastic job by Bender getting her feet set back under her off the flare, because her momentum's going backwards. You got to get ready to catch it. Make sure your momentum's ready to go forward into the shot.
KK Arnold Now 2 of 5 at the line tonight. Connecticut 11 free throw attempts in the first half, so that's a good sign. In the third quarter alone, this will be number 9. So that's 20 free throw attempts for a team that's trying to get there more often. But Arnold 0 for 2, Fudd the rebound. Resets Zabel, cans it from distance.
If you give Allie Zabel like 1 second to see the rim, it's going in. She doesn't even have to look at it. She could probably shoot that with her eyes closed and it would go in.
Henry can't answer off the heel. In comes Bosco.
Nobody boxed out in a blue jersey.
But she stepped out of bounds. To your point, though, Zabel, you were there for the 10 three-point game against Xavier. Here's another one tonight.
I mean, that is an automatic, quick release. You want to talk about beautiful, perfect forms. Allie Zabel is one of my favorite shooters to watch in the game.
47% with over 100 attempts. 2 seconds, maybe 3 between the clocks. Now Alfie wants it. It's Fudd on a clear out. AZ Fudd, mid-range off the dribble. 3 seconds for Villanova. Bosco, 1 second. Gets it away. And that's it for the third. Connecticut outscores Villanova 26-12, and they lead by 11 after 3.
Connecticut playing with some more balance, getting good looks, sharing the ball. And this is without Sarah Strong on the bench for the last 4 minutes of this game. How will this one end, Ed?
10 to go. Saturday, the Premier League title race heats up on Peacock as Manchester City look to keep charging up the table when they host Newcastle. It kicks off live at 3 Eastern on Peacock. Start of the fourth. Give it a little dance.
All right, got some smooth moves there from the Wildcat. Lots to dance to over here with Justin Bieber playing in right now. But there's a lot to dance right now for Villanova. Able to still contend in this game. This is going to be a big fourth quarter. Villanova has to get stops defensively, and they've got to get back to getting good ball reversals on offense. They were able to get open shots from 3 especially, or back cuts when their spacing was good. They got skip passes, the ball moved, and it got UConn's defense to move.
Big story tonight. Connecticut down at the break for the first time this season. But you see that streak of 63 straight league games won, regular season and Big East tournament combined. The last Big East team to beat UConn was St. John's in 2023. Somewhere Joe Tardamella saying, "Yep, that was us." Joey T. Carter playing with 4. And Strong on the bench with 4 for UConn. Bosco bumped and denied by Zabel.
And the help side defense came over for UConn. It's a better adjustment in that fourth quarter, having someone come over, Villanova rather, isn't wide open underneath.
Fudd with Shade, Arnold, El Alfie, and Zabel for Connecticut. Fudd with the step, the stiff arm, banker missed. Tipped out to Carter, who tonight with 12 points, just her second rebound. Henry for 3, and went to the hands of Bender right to UConn. This is where you watch Gino, you see what are they looking to do here. This team so precise with their cuts. That dumps inside. El Alfie tied up and pushes McCurry.
UConn needs to keep getting the ball inside. A couple of times, Sarah Williams has been open. Jana El Alfie's been open. Coach Oriama looking at her saying, "Jana, turn around and score the ball. Don't put the ball right into the defender. Stay strong with that. Keep it high. Go up and make a post move."
Fudd relocates for 3. Back of the rim, and there's Bosco on the weak side. 8th rebound for Jasmine Bosco. And they've needed it from their guards. Had backdoor for a moment. It's Carter, defended well, but you can see Fatu Sissoko Stevens saying, nope, the arms were extended out by Fudd.
Well, Fudd slid over on time to get there to be that help side defender. Stay on the help line coming over. It didn't look like she touched the arm of Carter from that angle.
Third on Fudd. I like your mindset. Game like this, top two teams in the Big East, it takes a lot to get the whistle as Carter misses the first.
And it should, because
Correct.
you got to be able to play with physicality, play through some of these games. I just went calling Tennessee Ole Miss last night. You know how physical that game was in the SEC? But that's what UConn and Villanova are going to be facing in the NCAA tournament. So you got to be able to play with some pace, and you got to play battle-tested through physicality, and you got to be ready to not get calls.
I saw you got here on the flight, which is great. It gave me a nice firm handshake.
Yes, it was
Coach
good
Yo
to make it.
Kim Caldwell last night. But Coach Yo said, hey, look, do you like to lose? She had a lot on her mind.
Ed, you're getting messy right now.
News of the day. Here's Fudd, long two. That's good for UConn. Fudd now with 20 for Connecticut.
Sarah Strong back in the game as well for Connecticut with those 4 fouls, keep in mind, but this is where you have to learn how to play through being in foul trouble.
Under 8 left, 65-53 UConn have outscored the Wildcats by 15 this half. Kylie Watson, number 4 in for Villanova. They deny it to Cesaretti. Bosco, 4 to shoot. Look at the defense by Arnold going over. Bosco fires. Air ball. Great defense by UConn the entire 30.
KK Arnold's ball pressure is so frustrating to play against as a player because she's quick with her feet. She doesn't take many negative steps, and she swipes at the right time at the ball.
The turnovers. The 26th, the first meeting by Villanova, and Gino Auriemma said they're not going to turn it over 26 times. They have 25. And amazingly, when those numbers were high early, they still led.
The difference, though, UConn had 36 points off turnovers last meeting. They don't have that right now.
And they've got Strong back in the game. $12 for Sarah Strong, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. Tennis shoot for Villanova. Henry pops out for 3. And Strong got there first against Watson. Arnold. Strong trailing down the lane for 2. How about the block and running the floor to perfection?
And now you see UConn playing with a lot of juice defensively, but the communication from Sarah Strong on defense early in the possession was huge.
Timeout to Denise Dillon, Connecticut. A 6-0 run and a 16-point lead on the road. We'll step aside from Villanova. Sarah Strong was in foul trouble in the third, but what a sequence here.
Get back in the game by getting it done defensively. This was a monster rebound. And then watch this in transition. She gets up, she runs. KK Arnold keeping her eyes up, eyes up. Who do you find? Sarah Strong running right down the middle. That was like a plane on the runway getting ready for takeoff. Strong getting it done on defense, turning it into offense.
We spoke to Gino Auriemma before our last telecast with them a week ago against Creighton, and he was talking about Sarah Strong, and he didn't want to put her in the Breanna Stewart class, but he mentioned a practice they once had where Breanna Stewart dunked and then made a 3 with a hand in her face, which doesn't happen ever. And he whistled and he said, that's it, go home, practice is over. She's not doing that yet, but you just get the sense as you look at some of the games coming up on Peacock that Strong is on a similar trajectory.
She's got similar tendencies to Breanna Stewart's game. That ability in the mid-range, that little 1-foot step back move, fadeaway jumper. But what she does is impact the game in every single facet.
Yep.
She gets big rebounds defensively. The communication, there was a switch that happened a couple of possessions ago where Strong communicated it, pointed it, got everybody in the right places. And that's just like being a D-back on the football field, talking, making sure everyone knows what's going on behind them.
What do you say? Player of the year with these accolades?
How do you not name her player of the year? Sarah Strong has consistently shown up, even in a game like this where she has foul trouble. She still has 14 and 10. Like, you got a double-double and you haven't gotten to play as many minutes and probably not the outcome you have wanted production-wise. It's ridiculous.
Nice finish by Cesaretti. Strong, 7 double-doubles. You'd think there'd be more. But
Yeah,
it speaks to what
surprising,
else
yeah.
she does, yeah. But to your point, I mean, a near 60, 40, 90 season, 60% just about.
Everybody's happy to just shoot 50%.
Well, that's how you
And
get to
that's
60.
what they need to do.
That's how do you stop it?
UConn's got to keep getting the ball down. You stop it by throwing multiple bodies. Also, the ball pressure on the outside has to be a lot better on the inbounds pass. And that might have been a rhetorical question that you were asking me, but that's how you stop the post-entry passes. You
Yes.
got to be really good ball pressure.
A lot of rhetorical questions tonight.
Yes, sir.
Henry tucks it and can't get the bounce. A little more urgency from UConn this half.
A lot more urgency. First
Amen.
half, they looked like they forgot they had a game. Second half has turned it up, and it started defensively, getting stops.
Shade kept it alive, 8 to shoot. Strong, why not? Hits the three-pointer. Blinking of an eye, she's got 19, and the tradition on the bench, they're always engaged. That time, Khalees, excuse me. Love that tradition.
It's a good one. You got to have a good bench mob.
And reaching on Quinones, tripped up Allen. Big part of the program. Chris Daly, of course, which you know all of the 41 years. You think about that duo together and knowing you're going to have your players who play and compete and play the lion's share of minutes to win national championships, but the bench staying engaged, that's just one little element of it that they do game in and game out.
Every piece is important. Whether you're in the game, making immediate impact, or you're on the bench, you got to still provide that support. And then, of course, being great in practice, showing up every single day. And your time's going to come on the bench. You got to earn it, though. Got to develop into a UConn caliber player.
Strong sets a screen. Fudd hits it.
It's so in rhythm. AZ Fudd is so smart reading multiple defenders out there at once, but she just never gets rushed.
Now Strong Megan had scored 9 straight for UConn before that jumper. Tanae Carter sets a screen. Henry fires, hits the three, and she's been waiting for one to go down.
That net barely moved on the shot as well. Better spacing by Villanova, but UConn's defense has been much better moving on the flight of the ball in this second half. Villanova has not had as many open opportunities in their offense.
Henry missed her first 5 threes, gets one to go down. Quinones, and swatted out of bounds by Ryan Allen with 14 to shoot. And in for Villanova will come MD and Tambu.
Sarah Strong picked up her 4th foul in the 3rd quarter. She's come back in the game with a vengeance, scoring in every which way possible, down at the rim, hitting from 3. She's balanced, she's moving by changing her speeds and getting the defense out of its stance.
Turnover by Fudd. Numbers for Villanova. Backdoor, and that extra touch, but not there from Allen to Ntambu. Hey, listen, it's an 18-point game. If you just turn it on, it does not do justice to where this game was. Connecticut trailed by 3 at the break, the first time they've trailed in a game at halftime all season long, and it's coming off the game against Marquette, in which they're starting to have to figure a few things out. But still, they're going to win this game. But give credit to what Villanova did in those first 20 minutes, because they took some punches, they hung with it, the turnovers mounted, didn't phase them, and they played a great first half.
And fitting you bring up punches, and you think of Rocky in the city of Philadelphia, but Villanova threw the first punch.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they need to continue doing throughout Big East play. They're going to be an NCAA tournament team. They've proven that tonight. Only 5 losses on the season.
Yep.
Top 40 in the net. They've got to continue building from this type of game, though.
Last year's MOP of the tournament, Hazy Fudd, drills the 3, and Fudd now with 25. And taking nothing away from her performance. It wasn't the dominant 25. I think Strong made some big baskets. Role players hit some big shots during the run of the third. But the steadiness of Fudd is so impressive.
The mental game that she's been able to play this year has been huge. She's playing with a certain level of maturity in her 5th year.
Carter, yes, and a chance at 3 for Danae Carter.
I've been so impressed with Villanova's growth over the course of this season. Playing a lot of youth, playing a lot of players that haven't played a ton of minutes together.
Yep. And
it's come together nicely. In this day and age in college basketball, you never know how the pieces are going to fit together. Denise Dillon's done a great job of building the chemistry on this team. They've grown together, and they've made huge strides, not just offensively, but defensively as well.
Carter, that great first half.
And keep in mind,
disruptor.
The first time Villanova and UConn met, Villanova lost by 49. Look at the score tonight now.
It
Much
was
greater
99
improvement.
to 50. I mean, I'd say that 5 times fast. Tennis shoot, give and go. And it's a bell from Strong. You're seeing why the player of the year who was struggling, couldn't stay on the floor, comes back in and things. I mean, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 19 points. Sinking the 3s, Bosco, and she now has 26, and that was her 100th career three-pointer.
Bosco is a great scorer. She's really smart and shifty with the ball in her hands.
Now, in the old days, when Harry Pretter was at Villanova, and he was coaching against Shino Oriema, he would say, if I get down 25, play zone. Let us run it, see how we do. And then, if that was a struggle, he'd say, all right, Chino, go back to man. And that was the friendship, maybe the reality, as Carter scores between a couple of Philly guys. Yep.
We call that the good old days.
Yeah. Harry Peretta, 42 years, retired in 2020. Honored him with a plaque against Georgetown a few weeks back. 38 seconds. Strong. Wow. I mean, the control, and streaks in for 2.
Sarah Strong is 6'2". She's got the footwork of a guard and the presence of a post. She's literally a positionless nightmare for teams.
Denise Dillon, you might see her in the tournament, but 5 games against Villanova in her career, and Sarah Strong with 5 20-point games. Carter for 3, nails it in the final seconds. She made 2 threes entering the season, or the game rather, this season, and tonight she's made 3 of 3.
Really impressive outing for Villanova in this game, spreading the floor, moving the ball with pace, especially in that first half. A lot to build upon, but this is not going to be looked at as a bad loss by any means in the eyes of the committee.